Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, welcome to another edition of the Omega Hour. I am your co-host, Minister Dante Fortson. I'm with Brother BJ. Tonight we will be talking to special guest, LA Marzulli. He's a best-selling Christian author. So stay tuned tonight. We have a great show ahead of us. We're going to be talking about the Nephilim. We're going to be talking about LA Marzulli's trilogy, Nephilim, based around Genesis 6. We're also going to be talking about a couple of his other books. So definitely stay tuned, listen to the show, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. Brother BJ, can you hear me?
I'm here, Minister Fortson. How's it going, man?
All right, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. Just been, watching this amendment thing you were telling me about in Vegas about the license plate thing. What's the deal with that whole thing?
Big Brother, InsureNet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're talking about InsureNet. What happened was the legislation was trying to figure out how to close the $800 million deficit, and they were offered $30 million to install InsureNet. And what InsureNet would do, it would allow the cameras on the light poles to have the ability to automatically scan license plates and send tickets out to uninsured drivers. And they shot it down because some of the people, it's not publicly spoken, but a few people did speak out and say, they were scared of the whole Big Brother thing becoming too powerful, and the fact that they could just scan your car as it drives past.
Oh, no doubt.
So that's what that was about.
What's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this new healthcare summit that's going on in Washington?
Actually, you know what? I've been online the last few days, and I haven't looked at a whole lot of news, so that one kind of slipped by me. Why don't you go ahead and fill me in and tell our listeners what that's about?
Well, basically, President Obama is he extended an olive branch to the Republicans, and they're trying to, I guess, have real talks about the whole reform in medicine, and everybody agrees that something needs to be done. But I think there's a few Republicans out there that are just dead bent on ruining him as a president, and shooting him down rather than really dealing with the problem of having 30 million Americans that are not insured, and in a country as rich as America, I think that's a travesty, so I hope with these talks that they're doing now that some real progress will be made. I don't know, partisanship always seems to be the way in Washington, so
yeah,
all we can do is pray and just hope, that the Lord intervenes with this type of thing.
It is the thing that's really dividing the country. I've heard a lot of people say it before, is the two-party system. And, I mean, it's no matter what your party believes, people have a tendency to stick to their party. Me, myself, I'm registered as a nonpartisan voter. But I think people are sticking too much to their party, win or lose. They don't necessarily agree with everything their party does, but because they identify themselves as, Republican or Democrat, they tend to vote that way. But me, I kind of like the freedom to vote whichever way I want to without having to, conform to any ideology one way or the other. But I think if we had, more nonpartisan voters, I think we'd have a better turnout, one, and I think we'd have, if we more nonpartisan candidates that could actually make it. Because right now, the way it stands, you'll never get a non-party candidate in the White House. So I think
that's what Ron Paul was trying to accomplish. Through what he was trying to do, he was saying some good things, and it was a pretty good little groundswell around him. But like you said, this country is going to be, at least as far as I can see, it's going to be that two-party, political system, and when it goes like that, it's going to be very, very narrow. What's your thoughts on this thing that happened in SeaWorld? The trainer that got dragged down and drowned by Shamu with the third one apparently that they've been drowned by one of these orcas, these killer whales.
Well, you know what? I thought that was crazy. I heard about it. I didn't get all the details actually. You saying that the whale dragged him down and drowned him, or her? This is the first time I heard how they died, because when I was listening to it on TV, all I was hearing was that the trainer slipped and fell into the water, but I didn't get any more details than that when I was watching the news.
No. Actually, he dragged her by her ponytail, dragged her down to the water, apparently banged her up a little bit, and drowned her. And the family apparently doesn't. There was some. Jack Hanna was one of the guests on Larry King tonight, and he was for keeping the parks open, and there was another guest, I can't remember her name, sorry about that, but she was saying that she hopes that they sue them, from here to Kingdom Come, because it was the third incident, and obviously these animals they're not in their natural habitat. They're unpredictable, and that's why they're called killer whales. And this is the third one, the third trainer apparently that has been killed by So I tend to agree on the side of this particular this woman that was debating Jack Hanna, because this thing, these animals are just out there killing people. Killing people and trainers, but apparently the parents of the woman that was killed, they harvest no malice. They said that if she had it to do all over, she would have gave her life for what she always dreamed of doing since she was 9 years old. So I thought that was interesting,
Yeah, that is. And like you said, people forget that these are wild animals, and they have them in captivity. So, wild animals, you shouldn't expect them to do anything but act wild. Now, before we get into the LA Marzulli interview, he's supposed to be calling in soon. Let me give the number out to the listeners, 347-994-1826. We invite you to call in anytime. For those that are online that don't want to call in, you're listening to the show, we have a chat room open. You can feel free to type any questions you have for our guests in the chat room. I'll be sure to ask those during the week. Keep up with us on www.ministerfortson.com. You can follow us on Twitter, MySpace, Facebook. And again, one more time before we jump into the LA Marzulli interview, that number is 347-994-1826. Feel free to call in at any point during the show, and we will put you on, or, again, enter the chat room, and feel free to ask your questions. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer any questions you have about his work.
It is amazing how the Lord works. The first time we ever met, we were doing a session together, a rap session, and we were talking about Mr. Len Marzulli. You didn't know that I know who he was, and I didn't know that you knew who he was. And isn't that amazing? Now we're interviewing him. You say the Lord works in mysterious ways, but I think it's incredible.
And there he is right now. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Mr. Marzulli, are you on? Can you hear me?
I certainly am. Great to be here, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. A little tired, but looking forward to the next couple hours here.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it, too. So I guess we can go ahead and kick this out. I want to start from the beginning. I want to first ask you, what brought you to write your Nephilim series? And for those that don't know what it is, can you tell us a little bit about it?
I'd love to, sure. The Nephilim trilogy was published by Zondervan. The first book came out in 1999, the last one in 2005. And what got me into it was about, officially, almost 20 years, perhaps actually a little bit more than 20 years ago, someone asked me a question, what about extraterrestrial life on other planets? And I had no answer. I had no answer for them at all. And I went down to the bookstore, and let me, a quick backstory. Before I became born again, sort of a Paul on the road to Damascus type experience, very intense. Before that happened, I had dabbled in the occult, had been actually with a guru. My third eye was opened. My girlfriend was killed when I was 18. She was 16, which led me on a quest. I wound up spending 3 years with a guru, Guru Maharaji to be specific. Tried a lot of different Eastern mysticism and different occult techniques to try to, be enlightened and all